Hi, I'm Olivia Kang, and I'm a fifth-year grad student in the Psychology and Brain Sciences department. I am in Talia Wheatley's lab, the Social Intelligence Lab, and my research very broadly asks the question, how can we measure mental experience? And that's a question that seems kind of out there, and there's a lot of different ways to tackle it, but one thing that I noticed is throughout time, everyone, poets, artists, philosophers, scientists, they've all kind of converged on this idea that you can actually use the eyes as windows to the mind or windows to the soul. And what my research does is look at whether that's actually true, whether you actually can measure human thinking and feeling as it unfolds from moment to moment by looking at the eyes. So I use pupillometry, which is measuring pupil dilation as it happens over time, to access that. So I think there are very few things that can rival the joy that you feel when an experiment works and you have this new finding or this new data that no one has ever seen before. But seeing that joy in another person maybe is one of those things that does rival it. I think that it can be so fascinating to see that you've been able to transmit your love of data to somebody else. And regardless of whether you're mentoring someone for a term or being a TA for a class for a semester, just being able to see someone's progress, going from, oh, this is an interesting question, but I don't really know how I would tackle it in an empirical way, and kind of taking them through the steps of what is sound research design, how do you actually turn this question that you're interested in into something that's actually scientifically viable, how do you analyze the data and then interpret it and then almost more importantly effectively communicate it to others so that other people can understand what you're doing and make something of it. Students are the most invested and engaged when they're dealing with something that they care about. So regardless of if I'm being a teaching assistant in a semester-long course or a mentor in the lab, my strategy is always to figure out what makes them tick. If they're actually going to be a research assistant, what are the questions that motivated them to try to get this position? Is there a project that I can match them with and be able to really put them in a position where they're personally invested in making it work and they want to learn what are all the components involved in creating an experiment, in creating this rapport that you have with other people that are going to be your participants in effectively communicating your results. Hands down, the resources. And I mean that in the sense of equipment and personnel and collaboration and all of that. So I think we're very lucky at Dartmouth to be able to have so much direct access to all the different kinds of equipment we need to carry out our studies. We have our own fMRI scanner in the basement. We have all the equipment that you could possibly need to measure heart rate, skin conductance, pupil dilation, the electrical brain activity on your scalp. And the fact that we have this, I would say, unparalleled access makes it so easy not only for us to do our research, but for us to give the undergrad students the ability to do this research and have this hands-on experience that they maybe would have to try a lot harder for or face a lot more competition for in other places. But that equipment aside, we have the leading psychologists and neuroscientists in the field, like one floor up, 2 floors up, and they all have their doors open. And because Hanover is such a smaller city and all the departments are there, I can see the math building through the window right now. We also have a lot of interdepartmental collaboration, and I feel like having this cohesive community where everyone cares about learning, everyone cares about research, but also everyone cares about transmitting this ability to do research and communicate to the undergrads. That combined with all of the facilities and resources that we have makes it such a special place for people to be able to have this hands-on research experience and to learn so much about this. I'm so appreciative for this award. Being a grad student at this predominantly research-heavy institution gave me such a good perspective and such good training to be able to kind of think of new ideas and think about the best ways to put those ideas forward. But it's so wonderful to be at a place that also values this undergraduate instruction and mentoring. And so being able to have kind of the hand in both pots and get the best of both worlds has been phenomenal.